Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed, live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft, here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
I'm ready. Ready.
I hadn't even finished there.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Sorry to interrupt you. How are Shanjen today?
How you doing?
Yeah. TV's power couple.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
You look
impressed.
nice today.
And I'm
So do you,
scared.
Jay. Whoa, Skip.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
You know
Jenny?
what?
You look very nice today.
Thank you,
But
Jenny.
you look nice, too. But I do like the blue. Is it too soon to have sides
I
here?
love the blue. It's just dazzling.
Skip, what is wrong with you?
It might distract the audience from how pathetic your arguments are today.
She wasn't finished the read, and you banging on the table. What's wrong with you this
Ready.
morning?
That's good.
I want to do this topic.
Okay.
How are you?
You get beat down early there. You asked for it.
I bumped fists with you, but not with her.
Shall we start with the one and only LeBron, because this guy is ready to go. He
Yep.
has had a very busy offseason. LeBron's public school in Akron opened yesterday, and he gave his first interview since heading west. And even though he is joining a team that has missed the playoffs the last 5 years, LeBron still seems confident. Let's take a listen.
I felt like at this point in my career, the ultimate for me, just like when I went to Miami, everyone kind of looks at me joining a super team. But if people look at, I think Miami was 35 and 47, the year before I joined that team. I don't feel like this is even a rebuilding, year for us. We have an opportunity to do something that a lot of people don't think we can do, and we love the notion of it. It's another rebuilding year, and we don't have enough. So, that will motivate the guys that we have, anyways. I like the challenge of being able to help a team get to some places that they haven't been in quite a while. And obviously the Lakers haven't made the playoffs in a few years, but the Lakers organization and the historical franchise matches up there with all the greats. You can look at, the Cowboys, and you can look at the Patriots. You can look at Manchester United, Boston Celtics. These are like historical franchises, and for me to be a part of that, it just, I think it's a great moment for not only me, but for my family and for the history of basketball in general.
Well, it is good to hear from the King. Shannon, do you agree with LeBron that this is not a rebuilding year?
I do, and I realized it was a very long day for LeBron yesterday, and he got the record flip, Skip. The Heat was
so it was a long day. So it was a long, tough day.
Yes. Yeah, he was up. I saw him on CNN last night with Don Lemon.
And
then he had Reggie Nichols.
That. He deserves a pass.
But the records were flipped.
He got the record
The
flipped.
Miami Heat was 47 and 35. The Lakers were 35 and 47. But I get what he's saying. This is not a rebuild. Skip, let me ask you a question. If Tom Brady were to go to the Cleveland Browns, or Aaron Rodgers go to the Cleveland Browns, are they rebuilding? Hell no, they're retooling. So that's what the Lakers did. They're not rebuilding. When you get this guy, all he does is he accelerate. He gets, quick.
Would you please refrain from putting LeBron James in the Tom Brady sentence just for once?
No, I will not do such, because one is the GOAT. You're right. You know what, Skip? Because one of them is the GOAT, which is LeBron, and the other one isn't. So you're right. I will refrain from doing that. But back to my original point. LeBron says we're not rebuilding. I'm here. He's automatic 50 wins. 50 wins would have been the third seed last year. I've said he's going to get somewhere between 54 and 55. Leave my 55 alone. I said between 54 and 55.
Well, you can't win 54 and a half, can you? Or is this a new year where
No.
LeBron is so great that he can win a half a game by himself? Just by walking on the floor, they'll give him a half.
He's worth 15 games. That's what he's worth.
55? You want to amend our bet to 55? You keep throwing it out. Go there.
No, I already went there.
Put your diet due where your mouth is.
He's worth 15 games. These young guys will grow a lot quicker than even you anticipate, and they'll get 54 wins. LeBron will win MVP. But he's not rebuilding, Skip. You look at what, and granted, D Wade was a 6-time All-Star when and a Finals MVP when LeBron joined him in Miami. Chris Bosh, I think, was a 6-time All-Star, one of the preeminent forwards in all of basketball.
Yep.
So this is a very different situation. Miami Heat, they were a lot more seasoned with those two guys as opposed to what these guys. These guys are entering their second and third year, and so they're going to have to learn a lot on the fly. But as LeBron says, we're not rebuilding. I take it as a challenge. I take it upon myself to get these guys ready to play. So he'll be ready to play. The Lakers will be ready to play. They'll get them 54 wins. I'll get due, and they'll be at worst case scenario.
So
at worst case, the fourth seed.
It sounds like he's making a case that they're a legit contender to win the championship next year. That's what I took away.
I do not believe that they are a contender to win the title.
Really?
I do believe that they're a contender to be one of these top 3 seeds in the Western Conference.
Well, how do you add the all-time greatest ever and you're not a contender? So you can't. You have no conviction. You don't have any faith in your man.
I'm not letting you walk.
It's shocking to me.
Why you keep trying to do that? I don't need you to lead me anywhere. I'm fine.
You tiptoe right up to the precipice, but you won't leap.
For what?
Leap. Have the guts. Have the courage of your conviction. Tom Brady's got conviction now. We're about to talk about that. Do you have conviction? You do not. You say, oh, he's big and he's bad, and he's going to turn him around, and then you won't back it up.
Well, Skip, if you have
just put it on the line, lay it on the line. If he's your guy, say they're going to win it all. At least say they're going to get to the finals. You got to.
I would like to, if you think a guy going from adding 15 to 20 wins is not great, I don't know what else to tell you, Skip Bayless.
Well, wait a second. When he went to Miami, they only improved by 11 wins, right?
Okay.
So is it going to be better than that?
This LeBron James is better than that LeBron James.
Oh, really?
Oh, you better believe it.
But that LeBron James was only 26 years of age. Interesting.
Did you see what 33-year-old LeBron James did last year?
I saw him play little to no defense all year long. That's what I saw.
He's playing smarter.
No. Okay. So before I launch, Jenny, I must point out that as LeBron was talking about historical franchises, what was the first franchise he brought up? What was his first reference? He's going all-time historical franchises as in the context of I'm joining an historical franchise. What was number 1 on his list? The Dallas Cowboys.
But that's a misnomer, Skip.
Oh.
The Cowboys have only won in 2 decades, the 70s and the 90s.
Don't tell me, tell him.
Well, I'm
telling your man.
Well,
you need to text him. Call him.
Don't worry about that.
Call him after the show and say, you misspoke again. You misspoke twice yesterday.
Because they've only won in 2 decades.
Okay, that's
the
what you
70s
always
and the
tell
90s.
me. But yet your man, LeBron James, the first reference is Dallas Cowboys. Then he goes to the Patriots. Then he goes to Man U, Manchester United. Then he goes to the Boston Celtics, all in the context of I'm joining an historical franchise.
Yankees should have been first, but that's okay.
Well, why were the Cowboys first? Is it because LeBron's an all-time Cowboy fan? Yes, it is. Did he grow up a Cowboy fan? Yes, he did. You are a Cowboy hater, yet you're a LeBron lover. You're getting yourself disqualified.
How?
You're going to burn your bridge to LeBron and company if you don't watch it.
I was a Steelers fan.
Oh.
My mom loved the Steelers. So in first grade, she brought my brother and I Franco Harris jerseys. We took the pictures in
Nobody
those jerseys.
cares. Nobody cares.
The Steelers used to own the Cowboys, Skip Bayless.
No, they didn't.
You better stop. In the 70s, Skip, twice in the Super Bowl, they beat the brakes off them. You know that, I know that. Now, Jackie Smith did drop that touchdown, but that's neither here nor there. That hurt too, didn't it?
Super Bowl 13, 35-31. I was there. Super Bowl 10, I was there. 21-17 Pittsburgh.
And you were supposed to be unbiased. These guys haven't been to the playoffs in 5 years. A lot of these guys weren't even in the league. As a matter of fact, the majority of them were in high school the last time the Lakers made the playoffs. And so now we add LeBron, who's the best player, but he doesn't make them the best team in the Western Conference. You want me to pick them. No, I'm not doing that. But I tell you what we will do. We will have 54 wins.
If you took Michael Jeffrey Jordan at age 34, which LeBron is going on 34, he'll turn 34 on December 30th.
Okay.
If you took that Michael Jordan who was in Chicago at age 34, which is his final season in Chicago, and you put him on these Lakers, boy, they'd be a big threat to Golden State. But that's how much better he is, how much higher he would lift this team than LeBron is.
He couldn't lift them nowhere without Scottie Pippen. He couldn't get past the bad boy Pistons. He couldn't get past the Big Three Celtics.
You know what?
He couldn't get past the Sixers.
This team would beat Golden State with Michael Jordan as its centerpiece. At age 34,
Man, you out your mind.
You know what? He made first-team All-Defense at age 34. He won another scoring title at age 34. What more could you ask for?
LeBron
He
James
was by far the most dominating player in the game at age 34.
If LeBron James took as many shots per game as Michael Jordan did, are you trying to tell me with the efficiency at which he scores the basketball?
Did it work?
What?
It worked.
What?
You want him taking shots.
No, that's not. But that's not his game. LeBron plays within himself.
So LeBron isn't as good as Michael because his game is different. So he has some handicaps because he's.
Well, who's the better
non-scorer.
rebounder and assist guy?
I don't know. That's close.
That ain't close.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, guess what?
In the playoffs, I can show you in the playoffs, it's like one notch lower. It's just one assist lower per game, one rebound lower per game.
But you project that over 82 games, over 14 years, and then now you see. So when you do 82 times...
Again, LeBron is 6'9" versus 6'6".
Okay, then we'll stop saying it. We'll stop saying Jordan is a better rebounder and assist guy. And then make excuses.
All he wanted to do was win. It's all about winning.
LeBron James wants to win, but LeBron James realizing he doesn't only have to score in order to win. He can do other things like rebound the ball, like assist the ball. He can do all those things.
Does that contribute to making the Lakers a contender? No,
Yes.
it doesn't.
Yes.
Well, if you're saying they're a 4 seed, they're not a contender.
I said we're on top. You talk about all that,
What
that
do you
stuff
mean
on the
on
bottom.
top?
No. You talking about, they're going to be 7th seed. They're going to be the 8th seed.
On top?
We're not catfish.
You already
we don't
told me
scrape the bottom.
you already said it. It's in concrete. It's in stone. 4th seed, says Shannon Sharp.
I said 3rd or 4th.
Oh, so now we got a 3rd or 4th. Can you finish 3rd and a half seed?
No, here's the thing, Skip.
Maybe it's a new deal for LeBron. He can win 54 and a half games and finish 3rd and a half.
Portland won 49 games last year. They were the 3rd seed. It's hard for me to believe that the Lakers will win 54 games and somehow be worse than that. It could possibly be, but I don't think so.
Well, if they're going to win 55 games, you should say...
I didn't say 55.
You
I said
did.
54.
You said 54 or 55.
No, I did not.
If you do either or, and you say we're on top, what would that lead you to
We're
believe,
on top
Jenny?
with 54.
If you're on top,
54.
I think you would go 55.
54.
You told me they're the
We ain't
great
doing the
white
feeling.
shark.
We ain't
You
doing the
said
feeling.
LeBron is the great white.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not bottom feeders. We on
Okay.
top.
You're on top.
Eating
So-
fur seals.
You're eating what?
Fur seals, sea lions, anything.
Okay.
On top of the water. We're not catfish eating at the bottom. We don't scrub the bottom. So 7th and 8th is beneath us.
Okay, so pick them if they're on top.
I did.
To unseat Golden State.
Stop.
Dethrone Golden State.
Nobody-
Here's the quote. We have an opportunity to do something that a lot of people don't think we can do.
Exactly.
Okay, there it is. There it is from your man, LeBron James, who
Considering
loves the Dallas Cowboys.
Considering that they won 35 games last year,
Yeah.
I say they win 50-plus games this year, Skip. Don't you think that's an improvement? Do you think they could have won 50 games in the West without LeBron? No. Exactly.
Do I think they can win 54 games with LeBron in the West? I do not.
And don't worry about it. Don't worry.
What would that be, a 19-game improvement?
So, guess what? When I have Deuce stacked up to the ceiling, you'll realize
so
why.
I've got Deuce stacked up to my ceiling over here. So he joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and they only improved by 11 wins over the previous season. How could
They
that
got
be?
off to a rough start.
Oh, rough start. I already told you, 2020, that's what you're going to start, 20 and 20.
Bet it didn't happen.
But this conversation of rebuilding, he said it yesterday, it's just fueling him. It's fueling his teammates.
Oh.
Is that what you want to do?
Conversation.
Oh.
Is that what you want to do? You want to fuel that?
Go
Go
ahead.
A bit more. I
Pick
just wanted
'em.
to remind you.
Pick them.
54.
It's too soon. All right, coming up, did Tom Brady put the rest of the NFL on notice
Yes.
yesterday?
No,
we'll
he did.
discuss that next.
Said a whole bunch of things.
No mercy.
Well, Tom Brady has a big birthday coming up on Friday. He's turning 41. He's entering his 19th season, but he's showing no signs of letting up. Brady told his production company, Religion of Sports, quote, "Football is my entertainment. There's nothing I love more, which is why I'm still playing. I guess that you could say I found my conviction. Let's go." Shannon, when you hear these words from good old Tom Brady, do you believe him?
You make me so sick with this foolishness. Skip
Wait, was
Bayless.
Jenny being sarcastic with that good old Tom Brady?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was. I think it was.
Even Jenny don't be
sorry.
full of it.
It was
I
too
think
obvious.
Somebody is revealing her allegiance here.
I think Jenny knows he's full of it.
Yeah.
And he jogging that Jenny. You see him,
It's a little
he jogging
dramatic.
down that Diddy point. Oh my, something. He make me so sick saying absolutely nothing, Skip Bayless. Talking about he found his conviction. You been found your conviction. You don't get to be this good without having conviction to the game. I get it, Skip Bayless. Oh, my family. He got an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and Vivian is 5. I get all of that.
Well, you know everything about
Yeah,
Tom's
I do.
family.
I read up.
Are you a closet Brady fan?
No. But here's the thing. Skip, in the offseason, he was able to spend time with his family.
He did.
And he
at
realized
the expense of his football team.
OTAs, as he's getting older, OTAs don't mean the same, doesn't mean the same as they once did. So now he can spend time with his family. He can go to Qatar. He can go to Monaco, spend time with his family. Because guess what? When the seasons arrive, Giselle, you back to being mom and dad again. That conviction kicks in again. Not for 1 second did anybody think Tom Brady was done with football after last year. Nobody thought that. So his conviction, he found his conviction. You've been found it. That's why your wife said he puts football in front of his family. She said that. Are you calling her a lie, Skip?
No.
Okay, then.
No.
So his conviction
Heck no.
has been there. Yeah. So he's not saying he's not breaking news. All of a sudden, he wants us to think he Dan Rather. He breaking news on the 6 o'clock. No, it's not, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
He's had this conviction. And it's easy to have this conviction. It's easy to be like, oh, I'm so family-oriented in the offseason. Because the offseason doesn't require the time and attention to detail that the season requires. Because you know what, Skip Bayless? Now that training camps arrived and the season's right around the corner, guess who's going to be mom and dad again? Giselle. Guess who's going to be taking little Vivian to ballet recitals? Giselle. Guess who's going to be picking them up? Giselle. So guess what? Tom Brady's always had that conviction. That's why he's great.
Well,
That's
she might hire somebody to pick
Well, but
him up. I don't know. Just for the record, I don't know.
That might, but I tell you what, who she won't be hiring, Tom Brady won't be picking him up.
No.
Because he'll be at work. Because he'll be getting film studying.
Watching tape, getting ready.
So he
win another
found,
MVP.
He found his conviction. Ooh, Jenny, even Jenny know he was full of it.
It was a little dramatic.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny.
Doesn't mean I don't respect him, but I want to know what Skip thinks.
So, for both of you, we need context. We need to take you back to the end of the 6-part docu-series called Tom vs. Time, which made you sick at your stomach to watch night after night. But you did, just for the sake of this show. Just because it's your job.
I
you
had to
forced
stomach
yourself.
it. You're
you
exactly
have to
right.
stomach it. It was not 5 parts, 4 parts. It was 6 parts.
6.
But part number 6 was not filmed until after the Super Bowl loss. They did lose, so they couldn't go to your restaurant. I give you that.
Oh, they came.
But how did Tom versus Time end? Do you remember the final words, the final statement from Tom Brady in Tom versus Time? He said, when you lose your conviction, you probably should be doing something else. And that led to a whole offseason of rampant speculation, hysterical speculation, that this just might have been it. He might call it quits. And once he started vacationing all over the globe, people started saying, that's it. He's called it quits.
Right.
He's going to spend the rest of his life raising his family and with his family. Am I right? Was there not rampant speculation about that?
Yeah.
So now he went back to the same interviewer / director who was overseeing Tom versus Time.
Chopra.
That's right, Gotham Chopra. We had him on the show. Smart man. And he sat down with Gotham again, and he jubilantly said, I found my conviction again, because he wanted him to know that there was an exclamation point instead of the guy who was in the doldrums at the end of Tom versus Time. This guy took all that time away to reach down way inside himself to find his new mission. 2016, what was his mission? To get even with Roger Goodell and the National Football League for suspending him for 4 games over Deflategate.
Correct.
Now he's got a new mission. He is going to show his own coach that he was wrong. That's what he's saying. He's telling you, my new conviction, this is between the lines, this is my interpretation of it, that I'm going to stick it to my head coach again, because he wanted me gone last year. He wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to be the quarterback right here, right now. And instead, I'm going to show him up again. He showed him up down the stretch last year. He won the regular season MVP. He beat Jacksonville with
Carson
just
Wentz award.
No, he won it. He won it fair and square. You
Carson
know,
got
no,
hurt.
Oh,
You know
stop
that.
it.
Skip,
I
you
don't
know that.
Well, he did get hurt, but Tom Brady was already going to beat him.
No, he wasn't.
So the point was, then he beat the Saxonville defense in the 4th quarter of an AFC Championship game. It's just it's unheard of. It's impossible. These are near miracles.
But this conviction that he's. So let me ask you a question. When Tom Brady went on vacation, do you think he worked out? So that conviction was there.
I don't know if he did or not. Would you? I don't know.
So he didn't do nothing.
Well, his body didn't look great in the beach picture.
No, it doesn't matter. That's his body. That's
Maybe he just gave it a rest, gave it a break. He's got to be 41.
No, Skip. All that is that's that body that says I eat whatever the bleep I want.
Oh.
That you and I both know, regardless if you lift weights or not, if you eat healthy, your stomach ain't gonna be popping out like that.
I would agree. You are what you eat.
Exactly.
Shannon Sharp.
So he eating more than avocado ice cream. Yo, O'Shea Sharp, you know what I'm chicken breast, a couple of Oreos here and there, you know.
You're about 20% body
You're
fat.
crazy.
Huh?
You're crazy.
No
20.
way.
He's 20.
Skip, let me ask you a question, Skip Bayless.
He's got his thing around his.
No, that's my mic pack.
No, it isn't.
It is. It's a mic pack.
It's his fat pack.
Whatever. Huh? Skip, here's the thing. I might be 8%, but I'm 242, 245 pounds. You're 7% at 175. So let me ask you a question. Would you like to have 10% of 1 billion or 10% of 100 million? Because that's what it is. I weigh you about 70 pounds.
By the way,
and
I'm closer to 5 right now because it's been hot and I've been running too much. I am.
You do all that running.
I just
see. You got to do all that running to get ready. O'Shea Sharp, stay ready. I just take this right off here. Got a Batman costume right up under this jacket.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. Got a Batman costume. All I need is a belt.
Oh, so you wear like fake physique?
No,
that's what it is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. What's up under here? This Batman costume.
Oh.
Unlike somebody else we know that don't have one.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't need one.
Why I'm trying to figure out why all of a sudden Tom Brady conviction, or I found my conviction. Tom, stop. You don't
This guy's unbelievable. He's found a new mission to get even with his head coach.
Skip. Here's the thing. This is what I tell athletes. Whatever it's going to take you to get to that place that you can perform at your ultimate best, that's legal, get there, stay there. So whatever motivates him, like you said, it was that 4-game suspension. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure Roger Goodell hand me that trophy. Okay, he did that. If you want to get back at Coach Belichick, I'm gonna win me another MVP. I'm gonna go get me another Super Bowl, and you have to like me again for another year or two.
Yep.
Okay, so be it.
How lucky is Belichick to have a quarterback who hates him but is going to prove him wrong and help Belichick win another Super Bowl? Wow.
It's kind of a win-win.
Maybe it's premeditated. I don't know.
Premeditated. Stop. Tom Brady, all of a sudden, he wanted to say something interesting after not saying anything interesting for 19 years. And this wasn't interesting because nobody believed that Tom Brady was not coming back. Nobody believed that Tom Brady lost his conviction. He lost that game. He took that L. Oh, they asked him, how you feel? Tell him how you feel. When Gotham asked him, well, how do you feel? Oh, that's a tough question. No, it's not tough.
It's a tough question. It was.
Nick Foles put foots in you. That's why it was tough.
Put foots in Bill Belichick's defense.
And I gunned Tom Brady.
Help me out again. You haven't ever answered this question. Did Brady play defense?
Best player in the Super Bowl.
Did he play defense?
Who was the best player in the Super Bowl?
Tom Brady.
Nick Foles.
He set a playoff record with 505 yards passing. No one's ever done it in any playoff game in the history of the NFL.
I tried to tell you this last year with LeBron James averaging triple-double in the finals. You're like, what good did that serve him? He took the L. Okay, what good did 505 passing yards, 634 total yards, the most in playoff history, regardless of the game, be it wild card or divisional or Super Bowl, regardless, Tom Brady got those marks. What'd he get?
LeBron gets to play defense. He has the option to play defense, which he no longer does. We know that. But still, he can go down and stop the other team from scoring if he chooses.
Tom Brady had a 33-32 lead. Tom Brady could have kept scoring. Now, in the NFL, I don't know. I have been out, I think it's almost 15 years that I've been out of the game. 14. I've retired in 2. So 14 years I've been away from the game. So maybe now they put a cap on how much you can score. Yep. But, Jenny, when I played, they let you score because I once scored 48 points in the game, Skip. So, but maybe now they cap it at 33.
What's the Super Bowl record for most points scored by a loser of the Super Bowl? What is it? It's 33 last year by Tom Brady.
You know why?
33?
I can't understand that.
He scored 33 and lost?
I can't comprehend what you're saying. Because Super Bowl losing, that don't go with Shannon Sharp. Super Bowl losing, I don't know what you speaking a foreign language to me, Skip. Me no inglés.
Did your head coach not play your best defensive player?
Me no
Did
hablo
he?
inglés.
Yeah. Did he?
You said losing in Super Bowl. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did your head coach sit down your Malcolm Butler on your team? No, he did not. No, you played all your guys because you needed all your guys.
Whoa. We getting all these semantics that this happened. At the end of the day, when we get 15 years removed from this, Skip Bayless, it's not going to be an asterisk when Malcolm Butler didn't play. It's going to be Super Bowl 51. Somebody took that collar.
Remember, your third Super Bowl ring, for which you went along for the ride.
Whoa.
Well, you did. You benefited from maybe the greatest defense in the history of pro football, led by the one and only Ray Lewis. Am I right?
Yeah.
That was.
But what about the big plays? What about the plays I made?
I know, but you only needed to make one.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had to make 17 big plays.
But I had to make them, Skip. They put me in a situation, they're like, Shay, go make them plays. So we got to the Super Bowl, I say, I handed it off. I'm here.
How many did you catch in that game?
One.
One? Okay.
Hey,
how many points did you score in that game?
34.
34.
Yeah.
Did you run back kicks?
Ran back a kick.
Yeah.
Ran back an interception.
Yeah.
Ran back a bunch of
There
stuff.
you go. There we go. Well,
Whoa.
Tom Brady scored 33 points and lost a Super Bowl because his coach's defense gave up 41 because Malcolm Butler's crying on the sideline trying to get in the game.
The Ravens.
Tears are just coming down his cheeks. Why am I not playing?
The Ravens hired me to be a GPS. So they tracked in Tampa, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I arrived at the destination. You've arrived. My job was done. Bing. Gave me a nice little tip, and I went about my merry way.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
I hate to inform you that you are in trouble once again this year because Tom Brady's going to make this a long, hard year for you on Undisputed. And I pity you because of that thing that you heard yesterday. That was an announcement that the NFL is in trouble and Shay Sharp is in bigger trouble. That's what we're up against now.
We'll talk about Tom a little later, but Skip, you need to stop. He needs to stop making like he's breaking news. Oh, I found my. You know what? Ooh. I think I might eat me some avocado ice cream because I feel weak.
Yep.
My stomach hurt, Jenny.
It's going to hurt all year.
It's not from the avocado ice cream, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm going to eat some, so I want to make it hurt even more. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip Bayless.
Nope.
He found his
I love
conviction.
it. This is going to be another year owned by Tom Brady.
The man has been at the top of his game for such a long time, and now he's found his conviction. Who can get to the top and stay there like he can without being convicted in something?
You want to talk about Great White? This is it.
No mercy.
Let's talk a little bit more about LeBron, who's entering a new chapter in his NBA life with the Lakers, but he is also 33 years old and about to enter his 16th season. Yesterday, he was asked if his championship window is closing as he exits his prime. Take a listen.
I don't feel like this is one of the last years of my prime. I think that's another statistic number, and I've always been a part of beating the odds in life. So. Being around my kids it gives me even more and more time in my youth.
Well, Shannon, is this one of the last years?
No.
Of LeBron's prime?
And now you say being around his kids, being around that nice weather, nice warm weather, so it's always 80 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't give you that, but go ahead.
It's always nice out here in L.A.
Yeah.
Huh? As you start to age, what does a lot of people do? If they have these nice homes, they go to Florida.
Oh,
they
did
go
you
to
just
these
admit he's starting to age? Oh, I think you did.
Well, I like to think so. Dude's 33. And he came in the league at 18.
I know.
But
16th year. Woo.
Can you tell?
I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
27.5, averaging 34.99 throughout the playoffs. I can't tell the age in a bit. Can you?
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn
Not
just
yet.
yet.
Okay.
Skip Bayless, look. Even if there's a drop-off, his drop-off, that means he'll be a top 5 player. We've never seen anybody this late in their career, in year 15, be the best player. He's been the best player for a decade, unquestioned, unchallenged. He's taken on all comers.
Yep.
They've come in all shapes and sizes. Some has been 6'2", 6'3" and Steph Curry. Some have been 7-foot tall monster and KD. Some of them been 6'11" and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Kawhi Leonard.
Some on his own team have been 6'2". Kyrie Irving. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Kawhi, Joel Embiid, all comers.
Yeah.
Just swat them down.
Really?
Yeah, he looked like Phil Dahlhauser. The thin beef, he's spiking everybody. Everybody that come up there, he spike them down. Get down. Get down.
What did he do in 2014 in the finals?
What you mean? They lost.
They lost by a record margin. Who was he swatting down? Patty Mills?
Whoa. See, that's a team. I'm saying him. We're talking about him. We're not talking about the team. We're talking about LeBron. Jenny, read that question one more time, Jenny.
Are these some of the last years of LeBron's prime?
Okay, ain't say nothing about no team. Ain't say nothing about the Heat. Ain't say nothing about 2014. Ain't say nothing about the Cavaliers. Ain't say nothing. They talk about Bron. So can I talk about LeBron? It's my I'm going to be claiming my time. I need an extra 20 seconds for you interrupting me, and you know better. First of all, now his workload is going to decrease because he got guys that can create and make their own shots. He doesn't have to set everyone else to eat. Because think about this, Skip. I got to go shop for the meal. I got to cook the meal. Then I got to set it out for everybody to go eat. Can't nobody fix their own plate. As I started to get old, my grandma said, hey, boy, fix your own plate. I ain't fixing your plate. You too big for me to be serving you. So LeBron James got him some teammates now. They can serve themselves. So now you take that into consideration. Guys that can make and create their own shot. And he don't have to play those 30, those 50, those 42, 43, 44 minutes a night. Man, he might,
That's about stat stuffing.
No.
That's not about winning. It's about improving my stats.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that they could have won those playoff games had LeBron James not played those 40-plus minutes a night?
Well, I saw him leave the arena. He walked up the tunnel, remember that?
Yeah.
In Game 7 against Indiana with a minute left in the third quarter. So he just left. I don't know why he checked out. I don't know what happened.
What happened? You know what happened. He was cramping. You know what happened. Stop saying that narrative, Skip Bayless. You make it seem like he went on a potty break.
He didn't do anything. He just sort of walked up the tunnel, checked out, and all of a sudden this guy named Kevin Love just took the game over.
Skip, stop.
They're up 1, and all of a sudden LeBron comes back. They're up 7. How could that be? He missed 7 minutes of the game. Wow. Interesting. So, did he have any help? Question. I don't know. That's what I saw.
So, we're not going to talk about those 38 points that he had before he left?
Yeah.
Think about all the games that he had to win that he had to score 40.
That contributed, his 38 up to that point contributed to a 1-point margin.
Exactly.
1 point lead.
Had he not had 38, they might have had a 10-point deficit. So put that into the equation. So with that being said, year 16, 17, possibly 18, he will still be the apex hunter. He will still be at the crescendo, the zenith, the denouement. Yeah, all those. Is that high you can go? Because that's it. That's where he going to be, sitting on high.
So
looking down.
Denouement is the conclusion.
Yeah.
So he hasn't. Is he
there.
entering his denouement or?
What did I just tell you? 16, 17, possible 18. You know, my grandma used to get mad at me and my brother. She was like a ventriloquist. She'd be talking without moving her lip. You're gonna make me sick. I told you he gonna be the number one guy. Year 16, which is this year.
Best player.
17
Best
next
player?
year, and possibly
18. He'll be the best player in the league.
So 3 years. Wow. 3 years. He will be. Nobody can ever say that. Nobody can say they've been the best player year 15 or year 14, but he can.
Yet I saw Kevin Durant win back-to-back
Finals
MVP.
Team.
No, it was him. He took it over. He was the difference maker in both those series.
So Nick Foles is better than Tom Brady because they won the Super Bowl.
No, he had a better game.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Basketball's different. It's a one-man game.
It's a team sport. It is different.
No,
this is not Serena. This is not Tiger Woods against the field.
This is not Serena. Close to Serena Tiger in Games 3 of the last 2 finals back in Cleveland in the King's house.
Yeah,
King's Palace.
It's Serena.
And Kevin Durant just took the game over twice in a row.
Whoa.
Game 3. Oof. That looked like the best player on the planet.
But what about that Game 4 when Steph had 38? Or Game 2 when Steph had 35? What are we going to do about those, Skip?
Well, when it was time, Kevin Durant rose and shone.
Well, I sure wish when it was time, LeBron could have had a teammate that would have rose and shone.
I think it's about to be my turn.
You've been very patient.
By the way, just a quick aside.
No quick aside, nothing.
You know, LeBron looks older at 33 than Tom Brady looks at 41.
Don't do that.
He just does. Just looking at him, it's like, if I didn't know better, I'd say LeBron is older than Tom Brady. I don't know.
LeBron looks the exact same. Beard good and dark. Yeah. Oh, he ready to go.
There's a little stuff going up there in the head, little splotches here and there. I don't know what that is.
The man always have. He been thinning for a minute, but that ain't got nothing to do with it.
I think Tom Brady's got some stuff going on up there, too. But
yeah, you know he got a ball spot. Hold on, Michael Jordan went ball at like 24, 25, Skip Bayless.
Okay. Back to business.
Okay.
When I heard this quote last night, this was another laugh out loud for me because LeBron James is saying he has found the fountain of youth that it's his kids. And he went a step further. It's not that he's going to hang on to his youth by hanging out with his kids. He's saying hanging out with his kids, playing with his kids, will actually increase his youth. Like he's saying, I'll get even younger. That's what the quote was. Do you understand? He said, I will get younger with my kids. I've never heard of that before. No, I've
told you it was Benjamin Buttons. I told you that last week. You didn't want to hear me.
Who?
Benjamin Buttons.
But who was? Kobe?
No, LeBron.
Oh, LeBron was.
Now, you know good and well. You saw Kobe the last couple
I know,
years.
he broke down. Okay. So then it hit me last night. Could we see that dunk video again of LeBron out there with his kids? So now this is Fountain of Youth. So this is exactly what he was doing. So he invades the layup line of his kid and the 13-year-old kids that he plays with, the 7th graders, and LeBron is dunking, contest dunking, in their layup line, and it's the way to get younger, because if you do it with 13-year-olds, you might sort of go back to being a 22-year-old. I don't know, the clock keeps getting turned back and back? I don't know, but isn't that what he's doing?
No.
Can you imagine that?
He's having a good time with Bronny.
He's having a good time. They're getting ready for like the championship game of the tournament, and Dad comes out and gets in the layup line.
And he relaxed them.
Oh.
And they beat him by 40.
They beat everybody by 40.
Beat him by 40.
They would have beaten him by 50 if that hadn't happened.
No.
Because everybody was so shook up because LeBron James is in our layup line.
If you don't mind me asking.
What are you doing, LeBron?
How much longer do you think he's going to be in this spot?
Okay, well, I'm just saying, this is his fountain of youth. I got to play with my kids, right?
What Tom Brady said, Tom Brady is elasticity. The TB12 method, the elongated muscles. LeBron James says his method is being around and hanging out with his kids. Okay.
Well, a lot of star athletes, superstar athletes, have hung around their kids, but I got to tell you, Father Time doesn't care.
A lot of guys
he just keeps saying you're going to get older.
A lot of guys have stretched before too. And a Father Time says you're just going to get older. Oh, so now stretching is only applicable to Tom Brady. You see what you did there, Skip Bayless?
Pliability is the secret to
Tom Brady,
long life.
Just for my clarification, Tom Brady is the first NFL player in the history of the game that's stretched.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's done pliability stretching.
That's just a term for it, Skip Bayless. People have been doing yoga and Pilates and gyrotonics for the longest. You see, I know what I'm talking about, Jenny, because that's what I do. I used to do that stuff. I was doing it before Tom Brady was in elementary school. Skip Bayless, you stop.
Has any quarterback ever won the MVP at age 40?
Skip, there's a first time for everything.
Oh, somebody's shattering the mold. I don't know, but that's his fountain of youth is Alex Guerrero, pliability, whatever the TB12 method is, whatever it entails. But in this case, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings here, but I see a LeBron that has already entered his decline, not his prime. He's already declining.
On what? Oh, let me guess. On the defensive end.
Well, have you ever seen anything like it? Because I haven't. I'm going to say this again. I said it earlier in the show. I'm going to have to repeat it just for the sake of this conversation. But Michael Jordan was 34 in his last year in Chicago. LeBron was 33 last year.
Right.
But in his final year in Chicago, which was really his final year in pro basketball, I know he came back for the ceremonial tour in Washington, but the last real legit year of Michael's career, he was 34 years of age, 1 year older than LeBron. He made first team all defense. He ranked 6th in defensive win shares, but he was still in the top 5 according to the voters because he was so disruptive on defense while winning his 10th scoring title. And I'll throw this in there. He also led the NBA in usage rate. So he had the ball in his hands more than anybody in the whole league. 34% of the time, the ball is in Jordan's hands as they rolled to a 6th championship, and he was the finals MVP. And he made the last shot and held the pose in Utah.
I love how everybody says, okay, the last 2 years in Washington was ceremonial, but they used those stats. He got those 3,000 points. He got those 40 points game. Oh, he's the oldest player to score 40 points in the game. So why are we bringing that up? Because it was just ceremonial. So ceremonial doesn't
you're
count.
Changing the subject.
No, the fact of the matter is that you try to gloss over the fact.
The subject is we have already seen LeBron start to age. We've seen erosion. We've seen decline. Because by your own admission, he quit playing defense a lot last year. He rested on defense a lot last year.
He picks and chooses when he plays hard on defense.
He plummeted during the regular season to 308th in defensive win shares. That's just pathetic for the GOAT.
I bet he doesn't have those numbers this year.
I don't know. I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet that.
Run it.
Huh?
Run it.
Yeah. Okay, you pick a number. What will he be? Will he be in the top 100?
Top 150. 150 or below.
Okay, I'll take that bet for a case of dew.
Okay.
150 or better. Yep. Okay, because he was 308th last year. Wow.
It's been noted.
Yeah,
Michael was 6th in his age 34 year. And again, I'm going to give you this. I thought he played his best offensive year of his career last year because the whole package of experience, savvy.
Michael could exert that kind of energy because he finished like 4th in assists. He finished like 4th or 5th in rebounding. LeBron James.
Exert that kind of energy. He's got the ball in his hands more than anybody in the league.
He ain't do it. Skip, having the
and
ball.
By the way, he played 82 games that year for the ninth time in his career.
LeBron.
For the first time in his career. The first time in his career last year, LeBron
Everybody played 82 games way back then, Skip. Can't you see the changing of the times?
Oh, I see.
We're going to leave it here for now. We could be going all day, guys. All right,
Yes,
Richard Sherman is the latest player to criticize Jerry Jones' anthem policy. We will discuss that next.
No mercy.
Jerry Jones made it very clear last week that Cowboys players will stand for the national anthem. Jones said the team has always had a written policy and, quote, you stand for the anthem, toe on the line. Richard Sherman was asked about it and told USA Today that Jerry Jones has a, quote, old plantation mentality. Shannon, do you like the analogy?
It was strong, but I think he needed a strong retort to what Jerry said. Jerry is basically saying, I don't care how good you are at your job. This will supersede that. I need you to stand at attention and toe the line. Your job performance doesn't bear into this. So I think that's why Richard Sherman came out as strong as he did. And people, when they hear the term plantation, it automatically harkens them back to slavery. But you can actually work on a plantation, be paid for something, and then it's like Richard is saying, like back in the slavery time, you say, Master, are we sick? Yeah, we sick. Ain't no we. You sick. Jerry, you feel that way. Your players don't necessarily feel the way you feel about it. A lot of players don't think that they're disrespecting the flag. They're disrespecting the military by taking a knee in silent protest. That's you, Jerry. You feel that way. So Richard felt his comments had to be equally as strong to retort Jerry's comments by saying, if you don't do this, and then Stephen Jones doubled down and said, yeah, you're not going to be a Cowboy. So this is why Richard Sherman used the rhetoric in which he used. See, Skip, Jerry is into his feelings. Jerry, this is not what's in the best interest of the league. Jerry is all about what's in the best interest of Jerry. Because you remember back in '96, the NFL had a deal with, I think it was Coke and Visa. Jerry does a deal with Pepsi and American Express. They got a deal with Ticketmaster. Jerry Jones goes and do a deal with Geeksy. See,
right, but they took him to court and they lost.
But here's the thing. Most of the owners, okay, what is in the best interest of the league? They're not in business to try to sue, because here's the thing. While they're suing Jerry, that's coming out of their pocket because they are the league. They're not trying to sue each other. They don't want to have that, but Jerry is all about Jerry. Skip, Jerry is not the only owner that feels this way, but Jerry is the only one that will voice it. See, this is why I have no problem with Jerry, because all I just need to know is how you feel, where you stand, and then that lets me know how I should deal with you moving forward. So, Skip, and I think I've shared this story with you, but I think one of the best parts of being 50 years of age is that I got an opportunity to spend 43 years with my grandmother, and I got a chance to spend 24 of 25 years with her mom, Grandma Lou. They lived on a plantation, Skip, and they had to do, clean the house and wash clothes. And they worked every day, sun up to can't, they called it can't to can't, Jenny. You couldn't see when you went to work, and when the sun was already gone down when you went home. They did that 6 days a week. Sunday was their day off. They wanted to go to church. They come back from church after about 3 o'clock, and the lady come with about 4 loads of clothes. And they was like, Lou, you and the girls gonna need to do these loads of clothes and have them back to us by the end of the day. Grandma Lou says, well, me and the girls, we just got back from church and we just want to rest, but we'll do it first thing in the morning. The lady says, Lou, if you and the girls can't have these loads of clothes back to me by the end of the day, you're gonna have to move on. So in other words, if you don't do this, you're gonna have to get out the house. You're gonna have to leave. Jerry Jones, so it wasn't about how good they were doing their job the other 6 days. It wasn't about that. It was about the power. It was about control. Being able to tell you you're going to, as they say back then, G and Holly, that's what they told a mule, to giddy up and go. So Jerry said, I'm going to tell you when you will and when you won't do something. And so that's why Richard had to come with strong rhetoric, because that rhetoric harkens a lot of black to that time, to that mentality when that was actually used, Skip, to say, I don't care. This is what I want. This is how I feel. And even if you don't feel that way, because it's kind of like, who was not Turner, the other guy. I can't think of his name, but he's the 4th of July, Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
They wanted blacks to celebrate the 4th of July. He's like, what? Celebrate? I'm not free. That's your day. But they said, no, you need to celebrate it because it means something to us. Jerry says, this means something to me, so you will do it or else.
That is true. So, quick step back perspective on a Jerry Jones that I came to know very well in my days in Dallas because I wrote 3 books on the Cowboys, and as you know, I spent a lot of hours around Jerry. I don't agree with a lot of his policies. I don't agree with a lot of his stances, but I did get to know him, so I have a pretty good feel for what makes him tick for all the reasons you just said. And it astounds me that 1 year ago right now, Jerry Jones was about to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You were there.
Yep.
He threw a big bash up in Canton. I don't think Canton's ever seen anything like it before.
And they will never ever see it again.
Okay. And at that point, I could have made a case that Jerry Jones just might have been the most beloved owner in pro football because so many of his ex-players, black ex-players, just swore by him. Never at him. I never heard a discouraging word about Jerry Jones from any of the black former stars of the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Irvin loved Jerry Jones. Deion Sanders just gushed over Jerry Jones. Nate Newton, Charles Haley, I forgot Emmitt Smith, you know, all the greatest, all of them. They just loved Jerry. Why? Because no owner coddled and protected his stars any more than Jerry Jones did, to a fault. I've made the case to you right here on this show that the number one thing that's been wrong with the Dallas Cowboys over all these many years that they haven't even made it to an NFC championship game is that the owner gets in the way of the pro football team because the owner is the buck stops on his desk, and whenever one of those stars has a big issue with the head coach, he just goes to the owner.
Yeah, circumvent the head coach.
Jerry, what's he doing to me? I'll take care of it. I got you. I got your back. I'm your guy.
Yep.
You're my guy. You know, Des Bryant. Did he have any? Did take a negative shot at Jerry? Nope. He loved Jerry.
And Des never said anything negative about Jerry until when? He called Jerry clueless.
Yeah. But that was just over the weekend.
Just weekend.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, what these guys fail to realize is that all the black players that he's talking about, they could do something for Jerry.
Yeah. I agree. I
These
understand.
guys that's
You were
taking
right.
the knee are protesting for people that can do absolutely nothing for Jerry.
Okay, but what has happened lately over the last, I don't know, few months? Jerry Jones has gone from most beloved owner to maybe most despised owner in the National Football League. Why? Because it appears he has aligned himself with President Trump over the anti-anthem, the anti-protest policy, right?
Skip, he's doing this at the expense of 75% of his team is black.
That's correct.
And the guys that can do the most for him is that he's putting a barrier between them and has a clear path to the president, who really in actuality, Skip, he can't do anything for Jerry, Skip. Jerry already has the stadium, so he doesn't need any more taxpayers.
Boy, there's a lot of rampant speculation out there about that he and President Trump are in cahoots and that he's going to get a big special favor out of this. Jerry is. I don't know.
What kind of favor?
I don't know. Just some special treatment, business-wise.
How about this here? He got a big one when President Trump tweeted, because they say he tweets his policy. So he tweeted, "Good job, Jerry. More owners should be like you." So he likes that. And that's the thing which you have to be.
And it's also been reported that they've had a number of phone conversations. So they're that close?
President Trump let that out of the bag when he said he had called him when this was going on last year. So he let that cat out of the bag. Jerry didn't reveal that, Skip.
Okay, so now I get down to Richard Sherman's response, and I get you. It needed to have some bite to it.
Yes.
He needed to fight fire with fire.
Yes.
I got that. But are you okay? Are you comfortable with the slavery analogy? Because that's what that plantation mentality is. Are you okay with it?
I am, Skip, because Jerry is using that. It's almost like he's saying, this is how I feel. And everybody else should feel like I feel. And it was like when the boss or the master got sick, the house people, the house blacks that were in the house, we sick, boss? What you mean we? No, he got the flu. Mm-hmm. You fine. But that was the mentality that they started to believe. And we see a lot of some of those black players on that team echoing what Jerry is saying. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, we respect. Oh, that's disrespectful to do that to the flag. Oh, regardless of what someone else might do, this is what we do. So that's what Sherman would have. If you listen to close, Sherman is very thoughtful. He's very thought out. He's very methodical in his approach. That wasn't just that Jerry also only.
No, I'm with you. I always defer to you on these issues, but this is just my 2 cents from a distance on this one. The institution of slavery was so evil that, to me, the only thing that compares to slavery.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how bad it was. So I cringe at these analogies.
Right.
But is there some? I get it. I get what you're saying. Are we going to the point that we're calling Jerry Jones racist? Is that what you? Is that where we're heading here?
I just think his mentality is old school. Jerry is late in his late 70s. Jerry did grow up in the South. He grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah, you know what? I know Arkansas pretty well because I was in a neighboring state of Oklahoma. I'm not sure. It doesn't compare to deep South where you were. It's not Georgia. It's not Alabama. It's not Mississippi.
They've got its fringes, Skip.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
It's just different. And by the way, just for the record, Jerry wasn't the son of a plantation owner. He was self-made. His father was self-made, so he fought his way up too. You know, Jerry went bust trying to drill oil wells and then struck it rich.
Think about all these baseball players in these tweets. They weren't the son of plantation owners.
No, that's a whole nother issue. But I'm just saying.
That's my point. Just because your parents weren't like that doesn't mean. Now, it definitely helps that your parents or your grandparents and they just pass that thing on down.
Yeah.
But they feel some type of way. When you have this kind of money, Skip, it's hard. You're not used to being told no. And when he says, this is what I want, because remember now, Jerry was sitting there, he passed his glasses to somebody wipes his glasses, and hand them back to Jerry, Jerry put them back on his head. So Jerry used to having whatever Jerry wants. Now, there are some players that might say, you know what, Jerry, I ain't aligned with you. I love you. You know, you've been good to me and my family. But I'm not aligned with you on this one, Jerry. Jerry said, well, if you're not, you're going to have to move on.
Well, it's in part because his team is now the most valuable team in the world, so he thinks he can pretty much dictate policy for his team.
You know what I think?
Right?
The best part about being a boss or a coach is to get people to do something without threat of repercussions.
Yep.
See, if Jerry were
That's
to talk,
true. I agree with that.
If Jerry were to talk to his players, but when because normally, Skip, when you give somebody an ultimatum, you do this or else.
That is
a lot of times people will choose else because you don't really give them a choice.
But it's not like they had 20 players kneeling every game. Last year they had zero. Zero.
And he didn't even have to make. He made an issue with it even an issue.
Yeah. He made it really hard on his black leaders. He backed them into corners.
Yes.
That. Boy, I'm not sure I would have had a hard time with that.
And then he echoed, and that was the problem that I had. That's what I told Commissioner Goodell, you got to be careful because when you start echoing what he echoed in Huntsville, and then some of these other owners start echoing that, the players hear that. They see, they're like, wait a minute. I thought we were just against him. We linked arms. You told us we were linking arms against him. Now you echoing exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, now it makes me wonder what Michael Irvin and Dion think today of Jerry. You know, would they start to say,
And these Cowboys are going to hear Richard Sherman. They are going to hear these words.
Yes.
You got to give him some credit. He always has had a strong opinion and a voice, and I really respect that.
Yep.
Coming up, would Bill Belichick be just another coach without Tom Brady?
No.
We will discuss that with Eric Mangini next.
No mercy.
Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are in their 19th training camp together. Wow, that's some history. They've combined to win 5 Super Bowls in New England, but there's always the question of who deserves the credit. Last week, an anonymous scout said that without Brady, the Patriots couldn't even beat the Browns. And then an anonymous coach said that Belichick would just be another coach trying to get his bleep together if he didn't have Brady. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Eric Mangini. Eric, do they have a point?
Your name Anonymous Mangini?
Are you the anonymous?
First of all, I couldn't disagree with either one of those comments. The Browns have won one game in the last 1,000 days.
Thank you.
So the idea that they're going to beat the Patriots,
With me at quarterback.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. I think they've made a lot of improvements, but I don't think that's a very fair statement. And the other comment that without Brady, Bill would just be another coach trying to get his bleep together. I mean, that guy needs to get his bleep together because Bill is different than other coaches. And the thing that always impressed me was the way that he worked. And he knew everything that was going on offense, on defense, on special teams, in free agency, in the draft, with the medical department. He had a grip and an understanding and a big picture vision that most coaches don't have. And when I became the head coach of the New York Jets, it was daunting in the sense that I knew what kind of bar he set and trying to be able to match that bar. Now, he had quite a few years head start, but it didn't change with success. If anything, maybe it got stronger. So that part of it, I think is completely wrong. And I think there's a lot of great quarterbacks that they've been successful, but they're won Super Bowl, and you could argue that some of those quarterbacks underachieved.
For me, Coach Belichick, and I believe he would have success, maybe not this amount of success without Tom Brady, because you have to go hand in hand. There are very few head coaches that's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Skip, without having Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Joe Gibbs comes to mind. I think Coach Parcells comes to mind.
Mark Rippon? I don't know.
He ain't in the Hall.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're doing it that way.
I'm naming the coaches that's in the Hall of Fame without Hall of Fame quarterback.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm saying, Joe Gibbs is in there. Bill Parcells is in there. Normally, when you get to the Hall of Fame as a coach, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I think they go hand in hand, but I would give a lot more of the credit to Coach Belichick for the very reason that Coach Mangini laid out. He has to draft, the salary cap era, free agency, and to have to stay on top of everything. And it's almost like a college where now these guys don't stay like they did in the 70s Steelers. You don't have a guy for 13, 14 years. A lot of times you're looking to turn this thing over in like 3 to 4 years. Sometimes by choice, sometimes the guy's just not he's just not what you thought he was going to be, and you need to move on. The thing that I admire most about Coach Belichick, no matter how much they give a player, if you're not meeting the expectations that he set or that he thinks you should have for this team, you got to go. I mean, a guy gets $10 million and he's not playing well, Coach, he's got to go. We give you $20 million and you're not playing like a $20 million player, you got to go. Everybody else got to prove a point. Well, I got to keep him. I got to, maybe if he's a left tackler, maybe if I move him to right tackle and put him at guard, I can get some service out of him. Coach Belichick said, no, we got you to play this. You're not playing this, you got to go. It's unbelievable in free agency. The way they've been able to win, the consistency in which they've shown, it doesn't matter. Coordinators come and go. Players come and go. Now, I give you that, Skip. The constant is he and Tom Brady. But, man, for him to do that, why can't other coaches do that when they lose players and still have a great quarterback? Give that man his credit. 85%.
This is offensive to me, how much I disagree with both of you about this, because both these quotes are dead on accurate, and you can't take it because you're a coach, and so it threatens the position and the value of the coach. And you can't take it because you can't stand Tom Brady.
I like Tom.
This guy has shattered the mold. He is doing things at age 40, going on 41, that we have never seen before. And what has slowly happened is that over time, I'll give you that first year that you guys broke through and upset the St. Louis Rams in New Orleans. That was 80% Belichick, and I'll give 20% of the credit to the quarterback because he was still the quarterback, and he did make the Pro Bowl, did Tom Brady that year, and I know you had to put him in positions to just sort of survive. And
Tell people the truth. E-Man, you do know that year that y'all won that first Super Bowl, he threw one touchdown the entire playoffs.
Yeah. So did Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
So he did make the Pro Bowl that year, which is kind of hard to do.
At that point in time, everybody pulled it out. Don't nobody go to the 9th
but he was
15th
just a baby, sixth-round draft pick. I get all that. I've heard all the stories. I get that. But when it was time in the Super Bowl, when it was time to shut it down and play for overtime and try to take the young quarterback out of harm's way, Charlie Wise said, let's just go for it. I don't know if you give Charlie credit or Bill credit. I guess Bill's signing off. Big picture on that. But completion. I know it took a 49-yard field goal, but you put him in harm's way. You put the game back in the quarterback's hands in the first year of starting. He wasn't a rookie. He was a second-year player. But still, then what started to happen over time through those first 3 Super Bowls, it was still more Belichick than Brady. But once you got through the 3, once Tom Brady started making Pro Bowls every year, over the last 9 years, he's made 9 Pro Bowls. Then it started to swing toward Brady. And I think it swung all the way to 75% Brady in 2014 and 2016 in those Super Bowls. And again, those are extraordinary feats in the fourth quarter of those 2 Super Bowls. Those are the 2 greatest fourth quarters ever played in the history of the biggest game in your sport. The one against Seattle, a Legion of Boom, and then the overtime and the fourth quarter against Atlanta. You just can't find bigger, better fourth quarters than those 2. And he beat Atlanta without Rob Gronkowski. You're always saying, oh, he's the biggest matchup problem in pro football. He wasn't even there, and he did that to the Atlanta Falcons, who were seen to have the hottest defense in football going into that game. And then last year, he did it without Julian Edelman. He got them to the Super Bowl. He beat Saxonville, the hottest defense in pro football, with 138 yards passing in the fourth quarter. It was just miraculous what he pulled off. No Julian Edelman, and gets to the Super Bowl and sets the all-time playoff record with 505 yards and scores 33 points, which were not enough because Belichick's defense gave up 41, in part because Malcolm Butler was standing crying on the sideline and could not get in the game for reasons we still don't know. But the pendulum keeps swinging back to Brady. The older he gets, the more credit he deserves, because now it's 80-20 to me, because it's still the hardest position to play in sports by far. It's the hardest position to fill, to draft for. It's just hard. It's a swing and miss every year. Half the quarterbacks drafted will be busts.
And I believe coaching football is the hardest of all the coaching jobs.
No. Here's the thing, Skip, is I don't believe Bill would be what Bill is without Tom Brady. And we saw that. He was 1 winning season in 6 years prior to Tom Brady.
Yeah, including the first one in
the
Foxborough.
First New England. Yeah, so however, I don't think Tom Brady is Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. We talked about the first year on yesterday, but all the subsequent years, the hard coaching that he's received, the infrastructure that's been put in place around him and around that team allowed him to excel. That marriage works because they work so well together. I think if you take either one of them out of that equation, we're looking at a very different scenario. Now, as time gone on, do I think other people could take Tom Brady 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and win with him? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think Bill Belichick could go and take other really good quarterbacks and win with him, or even
Aaron Rodgers? You think he could win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, absolutely.
You don't think a long time ago that locker room would have mutinied on Bill Belichick without that quarterback saying, "Let's do it his way"? That's leadership. That's strength. That's.
But at which point are you saying they would have mutinied without the quarterback saying, "Let's do it that way"?
Yeah.
There's no chance for mutiny there. Everybody understands.
Well, at some point, if the whole locker room says we're just not going to do it this way, you know what's going to happen? You're going to start losing football games.
I get that, and there was the idea that there was going to be a mutiny after we cut Lawyer Malloy. Mm-hmm. And remember,
but that was early on.
Yeah, and we lost the first game, 30 to whatever, 31-0, and go 14-2 and win the Super Bowl. There are so many things that happen during the course of the season that the head coach has to be able to control. The quarterback has an impact on that, and an impact especially on one side of the ball, but there's all the other factors that go into play that the quarterback has nothing to do with.
Do you realize how many games he pulls out of the hat, like pulling a rabbit out of your hat, that saves the coach from himself? Because Belichick gets away with swings and misses on player after defensive player. There are a lot of players have come and gone there, and you get away with it because the quarterback, what do you call it, makeup artist, you're the one.
He covers a lot of mistakes and blemishes.
He covers all those mistakes. He allows Bill to operate freely where Bill's not held to any high standard about his drafting or acquiring players, because if he swings and misses, it doesn't matter because they just keep winning championships or getting to Super Bowls.
But Coach Belichick, think about this, Skip. In 18 years, Coach Belichick has given Tom Brady 14 times a top 10 scoring defense. Isn't that how you win? It's not about yards. Everybody talking about they give up all these yards. They don't put yards on the scoreboard, do they?
But it's not just the defense, it's the special teams.
Yes.
It's all three phases.
Pinning teams down, making them go 80, 90 yards.
It's the idea, and this is a lost art of playing complementary football. A lot of guys with a great quarterback are like, we're gonna go, and they don't worry about the defense. They don't worry about special teams. But in New England, there's this idea of playing complementary football where if you've got to run the ball 50 times because your defense is not playing as well, you do that. If you've got to do certain things defensively to complement the offense, you do that. And that, to me, is the distinction. And whoever said that, he's just another guy, that's what separates him, is the big picture, the vision, the way it all fits together, the game plan to win the game. Now, can you do what they've done without Tom Brady? No. There's no chance of it. But I don't know if Tom Brady is Tom Brady without Bill.
And they did that first Super Bowl. That defense did hold the Saints to like 20 points less than what they normally score. Am I correct?
Okay.
Didn't y'all run a pick six? Didn't y'all have a pick six in that game, Tyler?
In the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have any of those defenses, would you rank any of those New England defenses in the top 20 all time?
No.
If they had a Ray Lewis Ravens or an 85 Bears or a Steel Curtain or
they never had
Doomsday Dallas?
They really never had that season.
No.
Everybody forgets that Bill Belichick was the head coach of the Browns the year before they became the Ravens, and he's the one who traded back to get the 26th pick. And that whole scouting staff went from Cleveland to Baltimore, who took Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis, and everybody was trained under Bill at that time. And so all those Ravens' early successes, it was built with the infrastructure that Bill put in place.
But Bill didn't do it. Bill didn't have one of his in New England. Well, he just didn't. And has he ever given Brady a top 5 receiving core? He had Randy Moss for an instant. It was really for about 2 years, because then Randy started to turn back into Randy.
You know what his skill problem is? If a guy doesn't have, if the linebacker is not Ray Lewis, or the D lineman is not Reggie White, or the DB is not Deion, or the wide receiver is not Antonio Brown, they're not any good.
But they don't have any of those guys. It's Edelman and Amendola and Chris Hogan.
But they're good for one coach.
He makes them good. It's good for Brady.
No.
Because he'll make anybody good.
But here's the thing, no. You need to fit that system. Coach Belichick preaches system and culture. Everybody can't play for New England, Skip. I don't care. Everybody says they want to win, but they can't win like he wants you to win. There's a difference in that now. If you're going to let me do my thing, I can show up late and we win some. No. He said, this is the way we do it. We practice like this. We meet like this. We do this like this. Everybody can't do that, Skip. Trust me. As a guy that's played with a lot of different coaches in a lot of different systems, it takes some time to. I came under Dan Reeves, who's old school, who learned his craft under Tom Landry.
I know him very well.
So he's old school. I came in up under that. So it was easy for me to adjust to anybody. But had I came in under Mike Shanahan and then go into that system, that's a whole different ballgame. That's why it's hard for guys to come to New England as opposed to guys that play there, that start there, because that's all they know.
It's not for everybody. It's not, and you got to know what you're getting into when you go there.
It is not for everybody. That is where we're going to leave it. Eric, thank you for the insight on this. All right, coming up, will the Lakers be a title contender this season with LeBron? We'll discuss that
Shannon,
with Eddie House next.
No mercy.
And back to the NBA. LeBron's had a very busy offseason. His public school in Akron opened yesterday, which was incredible. And he gave his first interview since heading west. He's joining a team that has missed the playoffs the last 5 years. But LeBron still seems confident. Take a listen.
I feel like at this point in my career, the ultimate for me, just like when I went to Miami, everyone kind of looks at me joining a super team. But if people look at, I think Miami was 35 and 47, the year before I joined that team. I don't feel like this is even a rebuilding, year for us. We have an opportunity to do something that a lot of people don't think we can do, and we love the notion of it. It's another rebuilding year, and we don't have enough. So, that will motivate the guys that we have, anyways. I like the challenge of being able to, help a team get to some places that they haven't been in quite a while. And obviously the Lakers haven't made the playoffs in a few years, but the Lakers organization and the historical franchise matches up there with all the greats. You can look at, the Cowboys, and you can look at the Patriots. You can look at Manchester United, Boston Celtics. These are like historical franchises, and for me to be a part of that, it just, I think it's a great moment for not only me, but for my family and for the history of basketball in general.
A good thing Eddie House is here to weigh in on the matter. LeBron saying he likes the challenge here, but are the Lakers a championship contender?
Good morning. I want to say this first. I think what
you
LeBron.
should say good night to LeBron.
No. I think what LeBron is doing off the court doesn't get enough credit. You got to really salute that man for what he's doing, going back in the community and taking care of the kids that are at risk. So salute to that man one time. But no, I don't think they're instant contenders for one reason. Not enough three-point shooting. I think you have a lot of guys, similar to when he went to Miami, I agree with that, where it's a lot of like players. They do the same type of things. Slashers, a few spot-up guys, but not really knock-down three-point shooters. And to me, I see them 12 to 15 games better, getting somewhere between a 3 and 5 seed, which means they're going to have to go through to get to the finals, Houston and Golden State. I think it's a tough task, an uphill battle, especially when you don't have any three-point shooting. If they are able to add some three-point shooting around them, some knockdown shooters, some shooters for hire, I think that would help their chances. But right now, last year the Lakers were second to last in three-point field goal percentage. He's coming from a team who was sixth best in the NBA. So it's going to be a different type of game that he's going to have to get used to playing.
So wait a second. Eddie House was on that Miami team, as I recall, that LeBron joined, right?
Yeah.
Eddie House is a knockdown three-point shooter. So
There's a bunch of us out there. Mike Miller, James Jones.
Wow,
yeah, we spread the floor.
And you're saying there's no Eddie House on these Lakers?
I'm saying there's no knockdown. No, there's not. If you look at their three-point percentages, there's nobody shoot. Michael Beasley coming in shooting under 40%, 39, but that's not a knockdown shooter. I don't think that's something that you could rely on. Michael Beasley's going to give us 40 from the three-point line. I don't think that's going to happen. So they have to find three-point shooting, or guys going to have to step up their three-point shooting and get a little better this summer.
Oh, I'm disappointed in LeBron James because when he mentioned about these historical franchises, he mentioned the Cowboys first. Why mention a team that hadn't won a championship in 23 years? Man U's won a championship. The Patriots have won championship.
What about playoff games? Have they even won playoff games?
So I don't know why, but LeBron, we'll talk about that. I'm going to put some calls into some people.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you going to set that bridge on fire
No,
today?
I'm going to put some calls into some people and have them to relay a message for me. I don't, really.
Maybe he knows the truth.
He ain't no
that
truth.
America's team or the world's team is the Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all won in the 70s and the 90s. Nothing in the 60s.
We won a lot.
Nothing in the 80s. Nothing in the 2000s.
Won a lot.
Nothing in the 2010s.
Yeah.
We about to be 2020s, and you still haven't win. But anyway.
2014, 2016, we won a lot of games, man.
Playoff games.
No, just regular.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I don't believe this is a rebuilding year for the simple fact is like when you get LeBron James, you don't rebuild, you retool. And he's coming there with that mission. Now, granted, this is very different. Skip, and you and I talked about it earlier. You don't have a D. Wade, who was a Finals MVP, who's a six-time All-Star. You don't have a Chris Bosh, who's one of the preeminent low-post players in all of basketball, who had to revamp his game. Now, as Eddie was saying, these are a lot of guys. A lot of these guys are 6'8", 6'9", athletic, can get their own shot. LeBron, I don't think is going to have to do as much heavy lifting as he's had to do in the past. Skip, he had to cook the meal, he had to prepare the meal, sit the plate in front of the guy, and basically put the utensil in the guy's hand to get him to eat. Because nobody else could create their own shot. Kevin Love was not a guy that can go get his own shot.
Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie wasn't there last year, Skip.
So we're just doing last year? I thought you meant
what he was talking
before.
about.
No, I thought you meant like in his years before.
But let me ask you a question. But when Kyrie was on the bench, Kyrie averages 5 assists, 4 or 5 assists a night. He's not a guy that's doing the heavy lifting like LeBron. LeBron is playing those major minutes. He's getting you 8 assists. He's getting you 9 assists, 9 rebounds, plus giving you 27, plus led the NBA at 33 years of age in minutes. Did he do that, Skip Bayless?
He stuffed that stat sheet.
See, there you go. See, you see what he doing?
He did.
They need.
He was great at it. He's the all-time greatest.
And they needed him to stuff the stat sheet. See, you see what he's doing? Now
It ain't easy to stuff that thing, though.
Nah, he just make
you want to, don't mean you could do it.
He just make it look easy,
That's
Skip
true.
Bayless. So with that being said, I believe these young guys, he's gonna their growth will be exponential, and they're gonna get me my Gatorade, not my Gatorade, Sprite. I'm doing Sprite.
You're doing
Sprite.
Sprite?
Yeah, they're gonna give me about 10 cases.
Hit LeBron up. He got the Sprite.
No. I want to hit him up.
See, the problem is he owes me 11 cases of Diet Mountain Dew, so he's got
I
to
gotta give it
eliminate
back.
the 11
Yeah.
before we start talking about Sprite.
Yeah.
Because Sprite is LeBron's drink, but LeBron keeps losing to me.
Not this year.
LeShannon.
That's why we had to move. Because he got tired of me losing to you.
Really?
He said, I'm going to go get it back. He said, I'm going to go get it back for you, homie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So nice
just
of
sit
him.
tight. Yeah.
So, what I heard was LeBron James dared to compare going to Miami in 2010 with going to the Lakers now. Well, that's a real stretch and a real reach to me because I don't see any comparison. He's saying it's the ultimate challenge, what I did going to Miami. But to your point, he did join a guy named Dwayne Wade, who was only 28 years of age at that point, and they were only 4 years removed from winning an NBA title, right? And Dwayne Wade had been a Finals MVP, and he had won a regular season scoring title and was a 5-time All-Star when LeBron joined him. And he was right in the heart of his prime. And Chris Bosh was only 26 years of age at that point, and he was already a 5-time All-Star. And LeBron was only 26. Yeah, okay. So LeBron was only 26, and he'd had a pretty good run because he'd already made 6 All-Star teams. So he's saying that wasn't a super team.
And he was an and 2-time MVP. Say it, Skip. Now he's a 4-time MVP. And he joining them young'uns.
Well, he didn't join a super team in Miami. They kind of created
Formed
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right. So they formed a super team, but there was some outrageous revisionist history because he said the Heat the year before had been 35 and 37.
I told you it was a long day, Skip. He got up early. It was 47 and 35. I told you that.
Seems like you're trying to revise history to make it sound a little better. Look what I did.
No, he just got it twisted. Sometimes you flip it.
Okay.
Skip, you know the man got up early. He had to talk about his school.
Happens
He
to
did
everybody.
the CNN with Don Lemon. He did the thing with Rachel Nichols. So you knew he was up early. Okay, he misspoke, Skip. Goodness.
So I'm looking at these two rosters, and this man to my left really knows this Heat roster because he was right in the middle of it. So I'm looking at total playoff games played on this Heat roster minus LeBron. Let's eliminate LeBron from this roster. There were still 545 playoff games played on that roster when LeBron got together with those other two superstars. And these Lakers have played only a combined 297 playoff games minus LeBron. Just what's out there without LeBron, 297. So that means your team had played 248 more playoff games.
That team was a veteran team, though. I think Mario Chalmers probably was the youngest guy on the team.
He was the only young guy on the whole team.
This team is full of young guys.
All young.
Sprinkle with a few vets in there. Rondo, Lance Stevenson.
But those guys are going to be your role players. They're not. I don't believe they're going to. Now Rondo might be a starter, Skip. But that's
what I want to know. Who's going to start at the point guard? How they going to work that out? They're going to have to play.
I believe JaVale will be a starter also. He's not going to play heavy minutes. Give him 15 minutes a night.
Give him like the first four minutes and then sub him out and go small, put somebody at the 5, maybe Bees or LeBron could even play the 5.
What did I tell you about this team? It's going to be the hardest to coach team ever assembled.
No, this is going to be tough to coach.
Tough to coach because you're going to also have to manage LeVar Ball because if you start yanking Lonzo after 4 minutes or whatever you said, LeVar's going to have a say about that.
I think he don't really have a say about it. I think, people in the media kind of perpetuate his power. He's not on the court. He's not affecting the game. So whatever the coaches and whatever that organization decision they make, he could be all the outside noise he wants to be.
Right.
I think first and foremost, they have to come in the locker room and say, hey, man, outside interference, we're not going to listen to it. Peripheral opponents, we don't care about them. It's about this locker room inside here. Zoe, we know you'll probably be talking a lot. We ain't going to just, can you talk to him one time? And if not, hey, we just got to ignore it, guys. He can't affect what we're doing. And Zoe, don't let him affect what you're doing.
I think
that's the way you got.
Zoe, you like Milwaukee? You like Brooklyn? You like Sacramento?
Ask LeVar that.
Yeah, because your pop keep on talking, know.
Okay. I think Pop has big impact on that franchise because he has become a household name, not only in this country, but in a lot of countries. That's how much impact he has.
Well, to Magic Johnson.
But I think if you let him have that impact,
right?
If you allow him to have that and impact anything, your organization by his words, then it can affect you. But I think that's the first thing that they have to do as a team: just come together and say, "Hey, man, whatever happening outside, this is what everybody's saying about us. We're not going to be that good. We're going to fly on the radar."
But everybody know. Everybody that got that guy.
No, a lot of people thinking the Lakers not going to be that good. I don't understand why, though.
I don't either, Skip.
Well, then put your due where your mouth is.
What?
And pick him to win the West. If he's that guy.
Stop it, Skip.
They're not going to win the West.
Why not?
It's tempting you
You
all
know
day
why
on
they're
this.
not going to win the West.
Come on. Is he
Golden
that good
State
or not?
Warriors.
I don't get it.
Golden State
if
Warriors.
he's that guy, if he's that man,
He's one
if he's
guy.
the
He's
GOAT,
not a team. Skip, stop.
why not?
No,
I don't get it.
You do get it.
If he were my guy,
That
I would put my
tall,
money where my mouth
7-foot
is.
cat is over at Golden State.
Well, your guy was the best player in the East, But he couldn't get out of the East until the big three Celtics got old, or the bad boy Pistons got old.
Yeah, my guy at age 34, a year older than LeBron, was first-team All-NBA defense, won a scoring title, led the NBA in usage rate, and then carried a team to a sixth finals and a sixth finals MVP.
Your guy won the championship.
That's a hell of a resume, right?
Your guy retired the year after winning the title, and they lost 2 field games. When his guy retired.
Who did?
The Chicago Bulls.
Lost 2 fewer games.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen took them to the Eastern Conference.
What are you talking about?
When Michael Jordan retired in '93.
He didn't retire?
Yes, he did.
He got suspended.
Okay, he got suspended.
We can do
the semantics.
Sorry.
We can do all the semantics you want. All I'm saying is Scottie Pippen, with no Michael Jordan, won 2 fewer games than when they had Jordan.
And then what happened?
They caught that Hugh Hollins bad call. You know what
We
happened.
always sneak Jordan in when we talk about LeBron every time.
It just gets
It's
in
somehow
there.
Because he
Gets
always
in
tried
there.
to suppress LeBron, and I won't let him do it.
I don't know why you don't
gotta end
pick
it
him.
that way.
Pick him next year. Pick him to win.
I'm picking him to
What
win
do you got him
54
fifth?
games.
You got him fifth?
They won 35 games last year. I got 19 games.
I got 15 at the 12 to 15. 50 wins get them third seed.
I love these 12 to 15. Just lay it on the line. What
We
is
did.
it? Is it
I just said
15 or 12?
50.
Between there.
Between, okay, say 14.
No, I'm not gonna say 14.
Why
I said
not?
12 to 15 because then I can be right if I'm at 12 and 15. If it's at 15, I'm right. In between, I'm still right.
He's going to keep bugging
Hedging
you
my
until
bets.
you give one number. All right, Eddie, thank you so much for being here. Will Tom
hedging
Brady
mines.
win another MVP award at 41? We'll discuss
No.
next.
Case closed.
No mercy.
Tom Brady will be 41 years old on Friday. Are we going to have a cake for him over here, Skip? I don't know. We may have to. Expectations are still very high. Bet 365 as Brady as the favorite to win the MVP this season ahead of Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz. Brady won his 3rd MVP award last season. Shannon, should Brady be the favorite?
Yes. He has a lot of things working in his favor.
I'm surprised.
You're admitting this?
Yes.
What?
He's the defending champ.
Okay.
He plays in the easier of the 2 conferences.
Oh, so that's your rationale.
He plays in the easiest division in all of football. So let's see. He's the defending champ. I mean, he's the reigning MVP.
Okay.
He plays in the least of the 2 conferences. He plays in the easiest division in all of football. And they're going to win. So, yeah. So there's no question about it.
Cakewalk.
He should be the favorite. But here's something that goes unnoticed, Jenny. Guess who is the bigger favorite on the Cowboys for MVP? It ain't the quarterback.
Huh. So, Jenny,
Okay.
did you notice how somebody had to change the subject because he can't stand to give Tom Brady any credit? So he tried to give him undercut credit, backdoor credit.
I said he's the favorite. I didn't say he was going to win.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I'll take Brady against Rodgers
Okay.
for another case.
Okay.
Okay, you got it? Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Don't be talking about, I don't want to hear anything. No.
Heck.
Rodgers versus Brady. Don't be talking about, well, you want this guy, that guy, no. Rodgers versus Brady.
I don't want anybody else.
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
I got it. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it very much. I have a swimming pool of Diet Mountain
You
Dew
will
over here.
not, by the end of the
A
year.
lot.
So the cake we're going to have this Friday is
We're not
actually,
having a cake.
We're having it for my wife Ernestine because her birthday is also
Okay,
on
we-
Friday,
we can get
August the
cake.
3rd, and she's a couple of years younger than Tom because she's going to be 39 on Friday.
Can she move
You
her
know?
birthday up to the 2nd? Can she move it up to the 2nd?
Great people share great birthdays.
Yeah.
right.
Fitting.
Me
Fitting.
and Jeter. Me and Jeter.
You and Jeter.
Yeah.
LeBron and Tiger.
Tiger.
Right. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
I got no one.
You got no.
I think Ariana Grande's birthday is the 26th too.
Really?
Yeah.
She doesn't count.
Yeah, Jenny, you like reality TV.
Yeah, but not. Well, okay, that's another discussion.
So, can
Another
we
day.
look at
What?
Mr. Brady's resume last year? Can we look how he won the MVP that he so richly deserved? Do you remember the second week of the season? Tom Brady, after an opening night debacle, went to New Orleans. Is New Orleans in the AFC? No, wait, they're in the NFC, right?
Yeah.
They're a good team. They're a playoff team. They
Yeah.
should have advanced past Minnesota, right? That was the all-time robbery in a playoff game,
Well,
right?
you do, Skip. Now, why won't you ever
Okay.
give context?
Okay, there's no context
Yes,
because New England had to go to New Orleans for week 2. This is dangerous and dicey, man.
Remember New Orleans lost that Monday night?
Yeah.
And Adrian Peterson gave that death glare to Sean Payton. So they were reeling. This was not the New Orleans team at the end of the year, at the beginning of the
so
year.
that's what
Would
it
you agree
was.
with that? Yes or no?
Was it the New England team that had just gotten routed by Kansas City, embarrassed, humiliated? Was it? And Tom Brady said no. He went into Drew Brees' house and he threw for 447 yards on 30 of 39, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. It was a classic. It was a game for the ages in the quarterback duel of that year, Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. And he just cooked New Orleans with a QBR of 95 in that game. That's an MVP game. And it came against a team that's not in the AFC least, right?
Okay.
And then Houston comes calling to Foxborough, but Deshaun Watson is out of his mind, as I predicted he would be, and he is rolling, and they are rolling. Are they in the... No, they're not in the AFC East, are they?
Skip,
I don't know. Maybe I missed something.
Skip.
I don't know.
I'm just using your argument.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're in the AFC, you do play some teams. But just like when you're in the Eastern Conference, you do play teams because guess what, Skip? You play them twice as opposed to 4.
Okay.
So if you're in the division, if you're in the NFC, and you happen to be, let's just say they're in the NFC East or the NFC North, where you have to see Green Bay twice. You have to see Minnesota twice. Do you want to see that?
He'd eat
I
them
didn't
alive.
think so. But
So he
stop
throws
it.
for 378 against Houston, a last-second pass to win that game. And then Carolina comes and it's 307 yards passing.
Oh, whoa. No, don't read over that. Okay, what happened? Did they win that game?
No,
in
they
Carolina?
lost that game, but he was really good in that game.
Well,
Had a
was
QBR
Cam
of
even
80.
better?
Well, you could argue that.
There ain't no argue. Who's arguing? Me and you argue, so I'm arguing for Cam.
But he had a
was
really
better.
good game. Then the Chargers, who were just red hot at
No,
this
they
point,
were not at that
they had
time.
killed. Wait a second, that's October 29th. They were rolling by then.
They started 0-4, right?
Yeah, but they killed my Cowboys. Remember what they did?
Cowboys was November.
Tom Brady, 333 yards passing against that team. And then, dare I say, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they're in the AFC, but they're not in the least, man.
Yeah.
And they're your arch rival, and you go to their house and do it to them again with almost 300 yards passing and a QBR of 81, and you pull it out again with play after big play after big play. Okay. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tom didn't gag it.
And Nick Foles didn't gag
These are
it.
all games against non-AFC least
Doug
teams.
Peterson said, Nick, they are who we thought they were.
So-
and we're not going to let them off the hook.
So did he MVP feast against the East? Nope, he did not. He did not.
So he didn't have
Played
no
a terrible game at Miami.
So he
that cost him
one game.
Yeah.
So what about Buffalo? What about the Jets? You won't talk about that, huh?
No, I'll talk about them, but again, I just gave you 5 games that weren't against AFCs.
What about my guy?
Yeah.
Walk it to him.
What about him?
Hadn't got hurt. That's his MVP. Because he had 34 touchdowns with 7 picks at that point. So at worst case scenario, he's going to end with like 40. How a man throw 40 tubs and don't get the MVP? It wasn't going to happen. Plus,
So-
he's going to be 13-3, 14-2.
Who had the 3rd best running game in the entire NFL? Oh, Wakatuam had the 3rd best run game.
Yeah.
That helped a lot.
Well,
Who had the 4th best defense in the NFL? Ooh, Philly did.
Who had a top 5 scoring defense? The
barely.
Patriots did.
Yeah,
No,
barely.
we don't do no barely. Either you did, like you said, either you did or you didn't. Yeah. So your guy's favorite, he won't win it. I'll get my Sprite.
I got to tell you, this guy is shattering the mold. He's on another mission to prove his coach wrong, and I think you're going to get an even better. You know, we've had quote after quote from scouts saying, you know, the thing about Brady is he's getting better. The older he gets, the better he gets. Unlike LeBron, who doesn't play defense anymore, Tom Brady doesn't get a chance to play defense.
With Tom Brady don't run routes anymore. He don't run quarterback sneaks anymore. So what? Who cares?
He'll run sneaks.
That ain't no sneak diving over the top. He didn't run no bootleg.
You know, he might just be the greatest quarterback sneaker ever, and I'm not kidding about that.
Who called him a baby giraffe? Somebody called him a baby giraffe. You remember? You got all upset about that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
All I'm saying is your guy dropped a touchdown. All that pliability.
He dropped a touchdown? What are you talking about, dropped a touchdown?
He dropped a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
He did not.
Yes,
Was he
he-
wide open?
Wide open.
Oh, so he was behind the defense?
Behind the defense.
There were 6 DBs in between him and the goal line.
Skip.
There
No,
were.
no,
There
no
were
one.
6.
He dropped it.
It's
Jenny,
a
you saw
trick
it.
play.
Don't bring me into this right now.
He dropped it, Skip. You know it. And you know what? I think
The ball was overthrown.
You know what, Jenny? I think
It didn't look good.
I think the 2019. Look at this.
The ball's overthrown. It's straight over his head. It's too far.
I think the boy's name, 2019 hot baby name, is anonymous. That's the new hot baby name for 2019.
It wasn't
anonymous.
stretched out enough before that play. Okay,
Yeah.
coming up,
Pliability.
Jerry Jones.
Lie.
He may or may not have committed a major mistake, some questionable moves from him at training camp yesterday. We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Jerry Jones made headlines last week with his forceful stance that Cowboys players will stand for the national anthem. Yesterday at training camp, Jerry did not remove his hat while the anthem played, which is a clear breach of protocol, and it appears that Stephen Jones tells him to remove his hat, but he then leaves it on. Shannon, is this a big deal or no big deal?
It's a huge deal, and it makes Jerry Jones a big hypocrite because this is very hypocritical. When they say the national anthem is about to be played, what do they say? Please rise and remove your hat. That's what they say, Skip Bayless. Mm-hmm. He made it a big deal. It wasn't a big deal, but Jerry says, I want you to toe the line. So even when Stephen Jones tells him, his son tells him, Dad, your hat's on. I don't care. See, Jerry is into appearance. See, Skip, he didn't think the camera was on him. You see what happens?
The camera's always on him.
He didn't know, Skip Bayless, because now he even looks worse than it actually is, because you're making this a big deal. You want people to rise. You want people to stand at attention for the play of the national anthem. And they clearly tell you, they don't say nothing about toe the line during the play of the national anthem. They say, please rise and remove your hat. Well, he was already standing. All he must do is remove his hat. He didn't remove it. So now, again, see, this is what Richard Sherman is talking about, that mentality, Skip. Do what I say. Hey, do what I say. If you don't do what I say, so what? Can he leave the helmet on now during the play of the national anthem? Because you had your hat on. Come on, Jerry, talk to me now. If we're going to be real about this, Jerry, let's be real about it. I love Jerry, but Jerry's a hypocrite in this situation, Skip.
Yes, he is.
He picked the wrong issue, Skip, to try to be moral.
So maybe Jerry just had, like LeBron, a long, hard day. Maybe he just
that,
made
Skip.
a mistake.
Don't do
I
that,
don't
Skip.
know.
Skip, don't do that, Skip.
Oh.
It was
Don't
the
do that,
opening
Skip.
day of
Tough
camp.
one.
No. This was a big deal. This was a bad look.
Awful.
This was laughable hypocrisy because it's laugh out loud. That's the guy who's taking this stand against this kneeling, and he doesn't even remove his cap. And then I think he got embarrassed because Stephen said, take your cap off. And he's like, no, now I can't.
Right.
You know, like he just got stuck. But I will say this. In all the time I was around Jerry Jones, writing 3 books I wrote on the Dallas Cowboys, not once did I ever sense that he was a God and country kind of guy.
Yeah.
Not a religious man to start with, and super patriot. To my knowledge, I don't think he served in the military at all. And I not once ever heard Jerry say anything about America, God bless America. You know, he just not built like that. He's a businessman.
He ain't Don King.
Nope.
Don King, everything is America.
No, he's a big businessman.
Yes.
It's all bottom line to Jerry.
Thank you.
He wants to put on a great show to entertain the people. Winning is kind of an option, you know, like it's optional. If it happens, great. If not, I just want to put on a good show.
That's why he built Jerry's World. The appearance, Skip, it's got to be bigger. It's got to have 3,500 TVs all lined around the building. So because
it was, by the way, a monument to Jerry.
It still is, Skip. But here's the thing. Jerry looks at it like, this is how Jerry views the anthem. If anybody refuses to buy a Coke, if anybody refuses to buy a jersey because of that protest, that's bad business.
You got it.
Not that revenue's up 5%. No. You caught because I could have made an $8 sale on a Coke, but because a fan disagreed with you kneeling, he chose or they chose not to buy a Coke, so you cost me $8. That's how he looks at it. Jerry is about appearance, Skip, because clearly he didn't. How does he think this appearance is going to come off? You tell me that you love God, country, and this flag, and you want your players to toe the line. And one of the very first things before they play the anthem, they ask you to rise and remove your cap. And you got your cap on. And you the one that says, okay, after all you've done, after all the players you stood behind, Skip, this is where you're going to get your moral authority. This is where you're going to get morals at. This is where you're going to get ethics. Come on, Jerry. Do you realize how bad that makes you look? Do you? I don't think he really. No, first of all, he does realize. He just doesn't care. I'm Jerry. This is my world. I got the most valuable franchise in all the world. I said my players will stand and toe the line. I ain't say nothing about me. I said the players will do that, or else because guess what? I can't cut me. I own the team. I can cut them because they play for the team. But
So
this is
clearly,
a bad look.
It's a bad look. It's not about the spirit, taking off your hat, putting your hand over your heart for the national anthem. It's not about God bless America. It's about I'm the boss and you're not. I'm the boss.
There's that mentality that Richard was so eloquently trying to tell you.
Yep.
And people, no. I mean, think about how that looked. Because remember, Skip, when they went out there on that Monday night, Jerry just kept looking around. Okay, where are the cameras? I just need to make sure I need to find I just need to find the camera. See, the cameras weren't up close to him, Skip, because they got these old big cameras. These cameras cost a lot of money. My man got one. I think it probably cost about $1 million.
It's got to be pretty big to get you in there.
Yeah,
right?
No, I'm slim, Skip.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But anyway, they zoomed that thing into Jerry, and they see old Steven. Steven tried to be a ventriloquist, Jerry. You see him try, Jerry, take your hat off. Yeah, he wanted to move his lips. Jerry, take your hat off. Jerry like, I'm Jerry Jones. I tell them what to do. They don't tell me what to do. They do as I say, not as I do.
Well, apparently Jerry's doing what the president says, right?
Yeah, that's it. He's echoing that, and that's the one place you don't want to be. If the president wants to be, look, he's there. He's where he is. Okay, that's fine. He wants to be there, so be it. But when you on a professional sports team and 75% of your employees are black, you don't really want to echo what he's saying because you see how the sports figures feel about him. Now, I feel very comfortable in saying, guess what, Skip?
Yep.
Golden State, you think they're going to visit the White House? Oh, let me guess. He going to rescind the invite.
Yep.
After they said they weren't going to come, well, I ain't going to invite you. That's the problem that you have. It used to be everybody, man, look forward to it. Now, because of the rhetoric. And, Jerry, you echoing that? Come on, Jerry. After all the players you stood behind, after some of the most horrendous things they've done, now you're willing to release a player if he doesn't toe the line when you stood behind players that have done far worse. That's where the hypocrisy comes in, that Skip. Plus the hat thing. People look at that like, Jerry, do you realize the players that you've gone to bat for and some of the things they've done? And now this, peaceful, silent. And you're going to draw the line. This is where you draw the line in the sand. So if you step across this line, you got to go. Is this it, Jerry?
Well,
really?
We saw what happened to DeMontre Moore last year,
Yeah.
remember? He raised his fist after the
anthem.
Gone. Well, there you have it.
It better not happen again. I mean, the cameras, I know you said they're always on him.
They are.
But if he does that again, this isn't a small thing. This becomes a big issue.
See, when you do things for all the wrong reasons, you forget sometimes, Skip. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, Jerry's not super patriotic
No.
type. He didn't serve in Vietnam or whatever, and you'd have a little more compassion for him if you thought, oh, he's just a super patriot. No, that's not what's going on.
Yeah. Them old guys, they say now. They don't say Vietnam. They just say now. Yeah, I did a tour in now.
Okay, should the rest of the NFL be scared of Odell and the
goodness.
Giants offense? We will discuss next.
Cowboys should be worried now. Very.
No mercy.
The Giants had a season to forget last year, going 3-13, but they're expected to have a healthy Odell Beckham Jr., and they added rookie Saquon Barkley to revamp the offense. An anonymous scout told NJ.com his strategy against the Giants is to, quote, pray for injuries and bad weather. Boy, people have lots to say when it's anonymous. Shannon, is this statement accurate or an exaggeration?
This is an exaggeration. Come on, Skip. I get it. They got Saquon, and if he's as good as they think they are, I think they can be a good team. I believe the defense will bounce back and play better than they played last year. They'll be more like their first year as opposed to last year. And I get it. Evan Ingram, I liked him coming out of college. He seems to be the real deal. Odell, I believe Odell will get this contract done before the season starts. So he's already highly motivated. But he'll be out there to show that, look, they gave me this money. Let me show you why they gave it to him. Sterling Shepard will have a very good year. They signed Nate Solder in free agency, moved him to left tackle, so Eli is protected a lot better on his blind side. But come on, Skip. Really? This offense play for bad weather or an injury. Really? They're still not going to have a top offense. You think they'll be better than the Pats, the Steelers, the Rams, the Saints, Minnesota, the Eagles? No. I think they'll be better. Yes, I believe they'll be better than what they were last year. But this is some hyperbole out the yin-yang.
So, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I pray for Eli to stay healthy. That's all I pray for. Because this whole notion of explosive offense, it's going to hinge on that quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm going to remind you, his QBR has dropped steadily over the last 4 years. Each of the last 4 years, he's gotten a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. And last year, I know he wasn't protected and he lost most of his receivers, but it looked like his game was eroding. It looked like he was just getting old right before your very eyes. And his coach at the time decided, I've seen enough. And he benched him and stopped the streak. And guess what? What the phenomenon was, it turned pro-Eli because Eli got turned back into a sympathetic figure that he didn't deserve to be, to me.
Because the thing was, Skip, it's like Eli felt that they were going to like, okay, you're going to start me, but no matter how well I'm playing, you're going to bring the guy in for the second quarter. So don't just start me to continue the streak. The dude got benched for Geno Smith. Now, if it was his heir apparent, okay, Brett Favre messing up, they bring Aaron Rodgers in, okay, that's the future. One of these guys, that's the future. You know Geno Smith wasn't going to take you anywhere. But you bench Eli, you might as well just let him keep the streak going.
Yep, I agree. So Eli's going to play at 37 years of age, and he's had the weirdest, craziest career I've ever tried to sort of figure out because I can't take this away. He beat Tom Brady head-to-head in 2 Super Bowls. I can't erase it. I can't undo it. He did it. One on the luckiest throw in the history of the Super Bowl, but took a helmet catch.
You remember Jim Plunkett? Jim Plunkett got 2 Super Bowls, and he's not in the Hall of Fame because they're like, okay, what did you do in between those 2 Super Bowls?
So Eli Manning has led the NFL in interceptions, not once or twice, but 3 times. Eli Manning has made 4 Pro Bowls in 14 seasons. It's not all that great, right? He's not a perennial Pro Bowler, right?
No.
And this is where you're going to hang your helmet on this guy with all those weapons, and I can't take the weapons away from you either.
They're good.
I don't know if Saquon can live up. I'm not the biggest fan. I know you know him. And I believe in him as a young man, high intangibles. I just don't know if he's going to live up to
But they already got him as an all-time great. He ain't played it down.
The pressure is
it's terrible.
Incredible.
But I agree with you, though. Eli is going to have to be 4,500 30 touchdown Eli in order for this offense to be what this anonymous source is saying. Anything less than that, no. He's going to have to be way up there in stats, and we haven't seen that in a long time for him.
And I know what happened in season opener last year. The Giants were getting some buzz before the season started because of the defense, and I know they didn't have Odell in the opener.
They're going to beat y'all this year.
19-3 Dallas in the opener.
And then what happened in game 2 for the Cowboys? What happened? You do know.
I forget. Help me out.
Oh, what did you forget? They went out to Denver.
You know what happened? Dez Bryant didn't happen.
Don't do that, Skip.
He didn't happen.
Okay, what about Zeke?
Yeah.
8 yards on 9 carries.
No, it's terrible.
And then he wouldn't chase.
And he still led the NFL in yards per game.
You remember how you came in here and you was upset?
Yep.
Because he had his hand on his hips and he wouldn't chase the guy?
Yep.
And you got mad at Dez because he let Talib go like 103-4 yards with INT?
Yeah. I didn't get mad at him. That was actually a smart move. But Dez didn't run the route, right?
He ran the route.
No, he didn't.
It was just wasn't a very good route. It wasn't a very good route. He ran it. It just wasn't very good.
And then the next week at Arizona, Dak took over the game and looked like the best quarterback in football.
Why didn't 365 have Dak in front of Zeke as far as MVP?
Last year was just a write-off.
I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about this year. 365 got Zeke in front of Dak for MVP, and I need you to tell me why.
Well, it's just wrong. That's why. Wrong.
Oh, so they wrong with Tom Brady being the favorite. So they wrong.
No.
Wait a minute.
Wow, Shannon. You
This is the same article. This is the same company.
Well, they can be two things can be true.
Oh, not two things.
Okay, get this. Roquan Smith of the Bears is holding out for a shocking reason. We'll tell you about it next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. There's only one first-round pick that has not signed, and that's Roquan Smith of the Bears. ESPN reports the two sides are at odds over whether the team can take back money if Smith is suspended under the league's new rules on illegal hits. Shannon, what do you make of this?
I've never heard anything like this, Skip. And if I'm Raekwon, I'm holding out too. Now, the first game, preseason game, is Thursday, so he's not going to play in that game. But how do you play the position in that franchise? Who the linebacker is known for? Bill George is really the first linebacker. Hall of Fame. Dick Butkus, Hall of Fame. Singletary, Hall of Fame. Urlacher, Hall of Fame. No team has lineage at a position like the Bears have at middle linebacker. And he's a thumper. He's a head knocker. He's a teeth rattler.
Yes,
and all of a sudden, Skip, you can be able to take some of my money back. Man, I wish I might. Raekwon, hold out. Get all my money, and if they suspend me for something on the field, no, Skip, that's ridiculous.
So, Roquan Smith is going to be a star in this league.
He can flat out
and your
play.
Broncos will regret not taking him at 5 because he went 8 to Chicago. And to your point, I covered the Chicago Bears for the Chicago Tribune for several years, and I know about this legacy. And the whole notion is these players were born to hit.
Yes.
Not with their shoulders particularly, with their helmet.
With that helmet
That's
on you.
what they did. They were the monsters of the Midway.
Yep.
They brought it. They imposed their will on you. And now you're telling the next in line, oh, the rules have changed. You can't hit with your helmet, and we're fearful that you're going to hit with your helmet so much you're not going to be able to play.
And, Skip, here's the thing, is that it's going to be subjective. I mean, okay, well, you did it this time, and then we're going to – it's a whole lot. And I get it, Skip. They're trying to make the game safer because $500 million of that settlement is already gone.
No.
I get it. But come on, Skip, now. I can't give no money back for doing my job.
I've never heard this is what it's come to for the National Football League, and I feel sorry for this kid and for this franchise because this is not the way this franchise used to play football.
No mercy.
Thanks as always for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.